From 2006 until 2009, Robert Raymond Ruks worked as a testing inspector of critical welds on Navy submarines and aircraft carriers at the Newport News shipyard in Virginia. The shipyard serves as a safe haven for Navy vessels where they undergo inspections, repairs, and upgrades in preparation for global deployments to protect our nation. But Ruks did not perform his job or help the fleet with mission readiness. In fact, his actions would threaten the entire submarine and carrier community, putting our sailors and nation at risk.
The investigation revealed that Ruks had been falsifying his inspections and his certifications for a period of approximately 3 years.
The welds on the hulls of submarines and aircraft carriers are critical to the safe operation of these vessels. An unsafe weld could jeopardize the integrity of a submarine or carrier at sea.
He had lied to his supervisors about what he had done and what he hadn't done. He had put writings on the welds to suggest that he had done the work.
My group oversaw the shipbuilder's response for their investigation on the impact of Mr. Ruks' actions on the welds that he was supposed to inspect. This gentleman inspected submarines, aircraft carriers, any product line that the company did. He was like one of the 6 prime inspectors for hull welds.
The impact was fleet-wide, and after an assessment, the Navy had concluded that it was more than 10,000 welds that had been looked at by Mr. Ruks, and as a result of that, all of those welds needed to be re-inspected for integrity purposes. The SubSafe program is an integrity insurance program that was implemented by the Navy in 1963 after the loss of the USS Thresher.
SubSafe program is a program that's been established to provide maximum reasonable assurance of the hull integrity of our submarines, as well as certain systems that are essential for recovery of the vessel should a flooding occur.
At least 16 submarine welds inspected by Ruks were found to be unsatisfactory, and 5 of those were considered critical to the submarine's safety. One of the cracks found on the USS Missouri was half an inch long and could have sunk the submarine.
Through Mr. Ruks' actions, we lost confidence in our ability to certify those vessels, that they will perform as intended, and that they will serve as a safe operating platform for our sailors when they go into harm's way. You can't say, well, he did this one, but he didn't do that one. Well, how do you know? They rely on the inspectors to sign off that, yes, they've inspected it, they validated it, and that it meets the accepted criteria.
In a statement Ruks provided after the initiation of the investigation, one of the big things that he mentioned is that he was very, very heavy into video gaming, specifically World of Warcraft, and even showed us on his computer the different things that he was involved with. But that was one of the main reasons why he wasn't performing the inspections. I believe he mentioned he was too wrapped up in video gaming, basically, and didn't feel like doing some of the work. The potential impact of false weld certification was a fleet-wide impact. It involved many classes of Virginia-class submarines in addition to U.S. carriers. And the failure of a single weld on a submarine, depending on if it was hull integrity or a subsafe, could have been catastrophic and caused loss of life. Some of these ships that Ruks inspected were not at the Newport News shipyard any longer. Some of them were deployed, some of them were operational. It impacted the Navy very greatly in terms of bringing them back in for reinspection.
The important lesson of the Ruks case was that one person could cause that much damage without anyone noticing it and cost $1 million to the government. Any government contractor or civil servant working for the military should be very cognizant of these kinds of falsification of records. It needs to be reported immediately to a supervisor. Otherwise, there could be far greater damages down the road. If one of your coworkers appears to be doing something wrong, it should be reported immediately.
Ruks was convicted of making false statements to Navy officials and federal authorities. He pled guilty to 2 felony counts for lying about welding certifications on 13 Navy vessels and received a 37-month sentence in federal prison and was ordered to pay $650,000 in restitution.